Hi guys, Ethereal Awakening here, doing an individual zodiac sign reading. This one is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your north nodes. I'm starting these videos out with an apology. I had said in earlier videos that I didn't want to focus solely on romantic relationships, which is still partially true, but I'm going to do you and them readings now, and you can intuitively decide which energy. I'm going to use an oracle card for each energy and pull some tarot to deepen the story, but then you can kind of decide which relationship this is focusing on, if it's for you, and go from there. So Pisces, let's see what Spirit is wanting to bring to light with a couple of oracle cards. So what is for Pisces? Spirit. Wow. One more time. All right. And the first card is Opportunity. And the second one is Nature. There's a hymn when I pulled this card that my grandmother, who has dementia, my mother is taking care of her right now, and I would love hearing my grandmother sing the old path. And when I pulled this card for Nature, that's exactly what song I heard. There's an old path made strangely sweet by the touch divine of his blessed feet. And in my opinion, it's referring to in the Bible, when they speak on washing feet, it's in my opinion, it's a reflection on turning away from the past. You know, washing your feet from where you've been. It no longer, you no longer dwell there. But the path is the focus. You know, the path is divine by the fact that we've walked it. You've come through it, and that God's power, God's grace, you live under the freedom of God's grace, allows that path to be a very beautiful path. When I see this Nature card, all that came to me from that. And then the Opportunity card speaks on not to be afraid of the chaos that you might be in right now, because in that chaos we often lose sight on the opportunity that's on the other side. And I will read from the book just because it's a new deck and I want to incorporate the author and artist's messages also. So the Opportunity card, and a portal opens in the whirl of chaos. It draws you in. Don't let your fear close off this moment. Embrace the shifting current. So that shift in whatever's going on with this energy is, and I always, in this Opportunity card, pay attention to how her eyes are just so wide open, and they do look a little fearful, a little surprised. So one of you might be going through something that has caught you off guard. And then the Nature card reads, immerse yourself in growing things, in wide open spaces, in rich loam, water, and sunlight. You are part of a greater whole, which is eager to provide the respite, the energies, and the inspiration you crave. So this one is reflecting just more on, you know, it being part of the process of nature's renewal. You know, as we see the seasons turns, there's the cycles of life. As we see a plant grow, there's the cycle of, you know, birth and death. Like a flower that blooms, eventually the petals will wilt away and the flower will die, but it doesn't stop the flower from doing that cycle over and over again, regerminating, repollinating, and continuing on. So though we may face adversity, there is a renewal sense in being in nature that is present all around you. So let's look deeper into these two energies and see what the story is that Spirit wants to pull forward for Pisces and their person. Let's see here. Let's do one more. All right. So in the heart space, definitely on the Seven of Pentacles, I'm drawn to his face and how tired he is. So this is definitely speaking on this opportunity side, somebody who's going through something and is just tired of this cycle, tired of doing this, tired of getting the same result. It's kind of like if you were a farmer, because you see he's got a plant there with all these pentacles on it, and you were, had a crop and your crop had failed. I don't like using the word fail, but it wasn't a successful crop. Would you just give up? Some would. Some would say, screw it, I'm not a farmer, and walk away, while some would say, well, what do I need to do differently to these plants to get the same result as the next farmer? Maybe I need to do something different. And in this opportunity card, when they speaks about in the whirl of chaos, finding the opportunity. So instead of throwing it all away, there's an opportunity to learn and keep going, to redirect and keep going. In the heart space under the nature, we have the Five of Swords. Excuse me. So when we are in the heart space, I want to say this other energy is kind of just likes the thrill of the kill, if that makes sense. Like, is in it to win it. I mean, even if this is a romantic relationship, this in the heart space, this win at all cost kind of a lot. I mean, this, I want to say, Pisces, that this other person is narcissistic. Just, the call to the nature card in the original energy is, asking for this person to, allow themselves to see that cycle in nature and everything around them, but yet they're falling on this win at all costs. So this is simply, this person's nature, is where I'm falling with that. It's in their heart space. That sword that he's carrying in his hand up front is down, like stabbing down. This person is just, this is their nature. In the recent past, for the opportunity energy, we've got the Page of Swords. So there was some truths, I want to say, with the Five of Swords in this person's heart space, and then the recent past with the opportunity energy. You valiantly went at this, probably had some arguments and some fights that, although you were honest, probably not your best, finest work, and it's kind of left you feeling, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be that person like that anymore. In the recent past, for the other side, the nature side, I've got the Ace of Swords. So this person, to me, is just up and down. One day they're good, one day they're bad. You can see the Ace of Swords was the sword up, then in the heart space we've got, or in the heart space with that Five of Swords, that sword's down. So this may have been a relationship where your sword is up. You may be just the delivery of how you were, in the fights. You may have been honest, but it wasn't how you wanted to be. You didn't want to, be tit for tat with this person, where this person is just triggered easily. But it doesn't matter, because they're out for the kill. It wouldn't, in the fight, this person will lie, cheat, you know, do whatever it takes, win at all cost. Queen of Cups is in the near future for the opportunity energy. So this is, although this does not feel good, you may have loved this person. You know, as I look at her face in this card, she's just that forlorn and that look like, why? You know, why did this have to happen this way? But there's some, you know, and it's, I want to say that, you know, when, as I look in the water also in the background, it's choppy. This isn't how you want your emotions to be displayed. You don't want to be emotionally triggered by somebody you love. But this person, so far, is just not seeing things in that way. This is their nature. And the Five of Pentacles is in their future. Whether or not that is, this is not your fault. If you're on the opportunity side, Pisces, if you're the person who's just not liking the way this is coming out, not liking the behavior that you're seeing yourself exhibit, no matter how honest the delivery is, it's the way, it's the fighting, the way that the explosions happen, you know, that leaves you feeling, you know, not in the best emotional balance. And it's wearing down on you. You're not seeing that coming out of this relationship is in fact an opportunity. And this is this person's nature, where they're excluding themselves from so much that that nature has to offer them, that being not in this nature would be, you know, they could have honest communication and something to actually fight for. But that's just not how I'm seeing this one. And it's in the future, it's this exclusion. To walk away from this person it's the greatest act of love. It's love for yourself, so you no longer are drained by narcissistic partner. And also recognizing that this is the best, one of the best teachers is to have this feeling of exclusion, feeling like you're left out. So that's, if you wanted to offer this person anything, walking away from them and excluding them, going no contact with them, because that's really the only and best way to come out of a narcissistic relationship, would be a step towards this person healing. The overarching energy, happiness, is over both of you. You just want happiness, or the opportunity energy just wants the happiness. The nature energy, this person who has this in their nature, they want happiness too, but they're going about it at that, I'll have my happiness at the expense of others. And again, it's just, you sticking around for it, you're just making yourself even further in the hole. And you're also giving them more ammo to be down in the hole with. And they're going to ride away, and it's going to seem like they're fine. But it's just more karmic debt for them that will eventually catch up. These cycles do repeat. So walking away now is just severing something that you can spend some time healing, so that your emotional balance isn't what's in the background all triggered. And I mean, these kind of relationships, once you're in them for so long, I mean, PTSD, trauma bonds, which is like Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, they're pretty heavy mental and psychologically abusive. And there's a lot of healing that comes with that. Cutting your ties now, Spirit is saying, is only an opportunity. And then let me get a couple cards here for the resolution. The Wheel of Fortune. This will turn one way, whether you stick around and further deepen your own trauma, your own psychological healing that needs to take place, and further deepen their bond with you. So there's another level of healing that has to take place, and that furthers their karma too, because this will weigh on them. If not today, tomorrow, in the future. That's just something that they have to reflect back on and cover up. That's what they'll do. They just Oh, I was a shithead. Well, if I can ignore it by doing more shithead things, so that sends their karmic wheel, this will turn one way or the other. And turning it to in your favor so that your happiness becomes of paramount importance, along the line it will end up being theirs too. So this is why I say the greatest act of love is walking away when it's this unhealthy. And another card for the no, not that many cards. Just one more card. Oh, that one right there. You have the Ace of Pentacles as the other resolution. And I heard it again in my head. The greatest act of love is walking away. That's the gift. I mean, you look at the Wheel of Fortune with the Ace of Pentacles as your resolution. The pentacle looks just like that wheel. Turning this in your own favor and saving yourself any more psychological or mental abuse, and being able to heal from what's already taken place, and not giving any more karmic ammunition to them or your own psyche, is just, it's the best idea. Not saying what to do. I know I stuck in a very psychologically, mentally, emotionally abusive relationship for a long time. And I knew I needed to get out of it. But I ignored myself. I ignored my intuition, and I furthered my own mental trauma, and furthered the time it took. It took what it took. So I know for you it's going to take what it takes. But this reading is simply to confirm with you that it's in this person's nature now. This is the Five of Pentacles. That's long. And then the Ace of Pentacles here too. It's going to take a while for this person to learn this much of it. The karmic wheel has not yet. This is the resolution. So as it turns, you if you're this, not seeing this as the opportunity to break away and actually start the healing, if you're not seeing that opportunity right now, and you're just kind of sitting in this, I love this person, I gotta, I'm not giving up on them, because that's often the what we hold on to. Well, I can't give up on them. Well, you're giving up on yourself. So, how much can you really not give up on somebody if you're giving up on yourself? We only teach people how to treat us. So, I hope this has helped, Pisces. I mean, this wheel can turn in your favor if you can find the strength in you to maybe sever this for the time being and heal. And in the future, I'm not saying this person doesn't have the hope. This, to me, in the future for this person, this is a necessary energy. This is where we start, when we feel like this so much, we want to change things. We don't like to be excluded. We don't like to feel left out, abandoned. And that's part of that push that helps us to change. So I'm just simply saying that based off of this reading, when you take the wheel into your hands and you turn it in your favor, it becomes the gift. Walking away becomes the gift. So I hope this has helped. I'll see you next time, Pisces.